everyone, welcome back to our channel. And if you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to be sharing with you guys today some styling tips as well as some products that I like to use. Hopefully this, can help you guys out along your wig making journey. I know that creating the wig is just half the battle. After you learn how to construct these units, you have to learn how to perfect your styling because we want to have professional units over here, right? So today I'm going to be creating our Kylie unit. She's actually our most sold unit on the website, and my client is a size small, so I'm using a 21-inch circumference, and I'm going to create this unit for her. And after I finish, we're going to go ahead and get into the styling process, and I'm going to show you guys some tips as well as the products like I mentioned. Okay, so I put this unit together. I didn't have to draw a lot of lines. It took me maybe 15 minutes to put this wig together. I only had 2 bundles. Okay, so now let's get into it. Now here I have my 5x5 transparent closure. I'm just showing you guys how it's created on a grid. You can see the lines there as well as the holes, and the hairs are attached to that hole. So we're going to use that as a guide to create our middle part. And this is a foolproof way to always get your middle parts straight and nice and clean. Okay, so I'm going to make a part down the middle. And I'm going to use my spray bottle to help me mold the hairs out of the way. And I'm going to section it off just like, how I create the T parts. So I'm going to section it off. I'm going to make the part down the middle, and then I'm going to section off the hair in the back because I don't like to start my part all the way, to the back of the closure. I need that hair back there to cover the tracks. And that's where I'm going to that's where I'm going to start plucking. Okay, right there. I'm going to pluck the center line. Okay, don't laugh at me, but I use magnifying glasses because I can't see with my bare eyes, and it just blows everything up. It has a light and it just makes my job easier. Okay, so I know you guys can't see what I'm doing because of the light on the magnifying glasses, but what I'm doing is I'm taking that line down the center, and I'm going to use my tweezers to pluck out the knots. So you can see how that's coming along nicely already. I started plucking. Just take your tweezers and pull the knots right out of the hole. And I'm going to do that all the way down to the front of the closure. So you can see that line there. I plucked it all the way down to the front of the closure, and it's nice and clean. Okay. So after I'm done with that, I'm going to just start my plucking process, and I pretty much do the same method. If you watch my plucking video, I pretty much do the same method. I've just been working on that and perfecting that technique. I'm going to part off 1 inch of hair on each side, and within that section, I'm going to just do little small sections, and then I'm going to pluck. So I just parted off a small little tiny section within the 1 inch of hair, and I'm going to pluck, and I'm going to do that all the way to the front. And when I first start off in that section, I pluck a little bit just to thin it out. And I do the majority of the plucking when I get towards the front of the closure. So you see here, that's how it's looking. I'm going to just pull the hair back on the other side so you can see the comparison. Okay. And now I'm going to wash this unit after I'm done plucking. I've washed the unit. I conditioned this unit, and I'm going to mold it down. This is my Aphogee leave-in conditioner. This is the only one that I use. I love it. I spray it on all my units after I wash them. I also use it on my regular hair too, my natural hair. So I'm going to brush that through, and I'm going to get ready to mold this down because this unit is going underneath the dryer. So I'm going to start molding it. I'm going to create my T shape. And I'm also going to be parting off here in the front because my client does want baby hair. So I'm going to just section off the front part. I'm going to use my styling foam to help me mold it down. And then after that, I'm going to take the unit and I'm going to put her under the dryer. And she's going to pretty much, I'm going to leave her there until she's pretty much almost dry. Since it's only 2 bundles, it's a small unit, it doesn't really take that long to dry. So I'm going to leave her there till she's almost dry, and then I'll blow dry her the rest of the way. So here I have my Frizz Buster and my Heat Protectant. These two I use when I'm straightening hair. They work very well together. I'll definitely leave the products down in the description box, and you can go check that out if you're interested in these products. Okay, this is my Kera Care Wax Stick. This is also the only wax stick that I use. So I use this with my hot comb. I know you guys see me do it a dozen times already. And I'm going to use that to start flattening out the top of my unit. If you watch my other styling, how to make the T part, you know that I start to do this before I start styling the unit. So I'm going to just mold it down a little bit on the top. And then after that, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my baby hairs. So when I'm doing baby hairs, I also do this before I start to style. So I use the lace as a guide. So you see where the lace starts right there? That's where I cut the baby hairs. I use that as a guide just to see how short to cut them. And I'm just going to clean it up. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to take my flat iron, this little tiny little flat iron, and I'm going to flip the hair up, and I'm going to use my styling foam to mold them in place, to swoop them in place. And I find this to be the easiest method. You know, I've seen girls on Instagram doing this method, and it really works because let me tell you something. I use gel, I use holding spray, I tried everything, and my baby hairs were just like all over the place. They just weren't looking the way that I wanted them to. And then when I tried this method, I was like, okay, yeah, this is it, this works. So I've been doing this method ever since. Let me know in the comments if you've tried this method, or you know, if it's another way that you like to do your baby hairs. But this definitely is, yeah, this is a yes for me. I'm going to just take my wraps and just tie it down. Then I'm going to put her back under the dryer for just a few minutes to let those baby hairs dry in place. I find this easy to do first before, you know, instead of doing it afterwards, after I style the wig. So now the baby hairs is dry, and I'm going to go into flat ironing the hair. So I'm just going to add a little bit of serum. And I'm going to start to flat iron the back of the hair. Now, I didn't, you know, record the whole thing. I know you guys don't want to see me sitting here just flat ironing this whole unit. But the only thing that I will tell you that I actually do is I do roll by roll when I'm straightening the hair. So I straighten each row. And I find that I get the sleekest look by doing that. And I spray the roll with my heat protectant, of course. And then I go in and I start to flat iron. Okay, so now the good part here. When I get up to the closure, I do the same thing. I straighten out the hair. And then I use my wax stick at the roots with the hot comb. And this is how I'm going to get that nice, sleek, flat closure. Okay, and then I'm going to part another section of the closure and do the same exact thing. I'm going to straighten the hair out, and then I'm going to use the wax stick in the hot comb, and that's how I'm going to get that nice, sleek, flat bust down. Okay, and I'm going to do that on both sides. And I forgot to mention earlier, if you see where my wig is sitting, it is sitting on top of my canvas head. I don't have it like down towards the front where the head curves. I want this to lay down on top of the canvas head. I'm actually going to insert this earlier into the video so you guys can see, because I did forget to mention it. But when you're styling your wig, push your wig back onto the canvas head. The head is flat up there, and it's going to help you, you know, achieve this look. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and finish molding that down. The unit is looking nice. This is how she's looking so far. She's nice and shiny, and she's nice and straight. Okay, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and grab my mannequin head. I'm going to bring out Miss Chanel and let her get to work, because I want to go ahead and cut the ends of my unit and finish my styling process. So I'm going to finish it on my mannequin head. Okay, so we got Chanel. Just showing you the inside there, how nice. Boom, yes, we like that. Nice and professional. Okay, I'm going to put that wig on her. And I'm just going to grab my scissors and I'm going to start cleaning up those ends. I find my units look 10 times better by just clipping the ends. Some people never want to cut the hair. Listen, cut the hair. Trust me. Okay, and I also use longer closures when I'm making my units. And this closure is probably like 18 inches. And of course, my hair is only 14 inches. So I'm definitely going to cut the front to even it out. And then for the rest of the unit, I'm going to go around it and I'm only just going to clean up the ends. I'm just literally like just trimming, just clipping just the ends to give it a nice fuller look. Okay, you can see there it's looking nice and even. The ends look more full. It looks nice, and I'm just going to go around it and just clip the ends, and then I'm going to take my flat iron and I'm just going to just slightly bump it a little bit. After I'm finished with this, the last thing that I'm going to do is just clean up my part. My part wasn't totally over bleached. It was just over bleached just a tiny little bit. So I'm going to go in with my hair dye pen and I'm going to just fix, you know, I'm just going to color correct that. And when I do this, I find, you know, the part is going to look, because when you over bleach your part is going to look whiter than it actually is. So you can take your little dye pen and go over that and, you know, clean up and fix your part. She falling, she tired. And let us know in the comment section if you guys have, you know, any styling tips. Tips are always welcome for us along our wig making journey. All right, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.